Hey friends, I've got a special feature for you today. If you're wanting to find an incredible backyard, this is the house, 4220 San Alivia, and I'm here with my friend Darren from Virtue Real Estate Group as well. Darren, tell us a little bit about this house.
So this is a beautiful home. It was built in 2019. Okay. William Lyons was the builder. It's got 20,000 square foot lot, 5,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 bonus rooms, 5 bathrooms, NextGen Suite with its own private entrance. Let's go in and check it out.
Let's go. It's a great home. Let's go. So one of the things I noticed walking up, Darren, that I like about this is it has a separate entry into the NextGen Suite here, which we'll touch on as we come back. But yeah. I thought this is really great. We were pointing it out earlier, where it gives you a lot of, still gives you a lot of independence living in the home, where somebody has their own separate entry into the house. They don't have to enter in through the main area, which I think is really, really nice about this home.
Yeah, that's right. And you actually have multiple entrances on this NextGen Suite, right? So you can enter into the hallway, which feeds into the home, or you can enter directly into the kind of the living area of the NextGen Suite. And then obviously that leads us here into the front entrance of the home. So Darren, welcome to this beautiful home. And before we actually go any further, I do want to point out one thing, because you're going to hear us say this a lot throughout this video. This is Darren Marcus. I'm Darren Melton. We will be using
Darren
the name Darren a great deal throughout this video. It's going to get a little confusing
from times, but
that's right. Yes.
Great home, Darren. This is beautiful.
This is a beautiful, beautiful home.
Yeah.
And you're going to see as we go throughout, there's just wonderful materials that are used that accent and complement each other throughout each space that we're going to tour. And they have nice stone flooring throughout the first floor, and beautiful window treatments throughout. A lot of natural light.
Yeah, I noticed that, and that's always such a great feature for a home. Always find something that, I don't know if you've ever noticed, when I'm walking a buyer through, I've had people come into a showing and it's dark.
Yes.
And immediately they're like, I'm out. It's too dark for me.
Too dark.
This is a great feature of the home with all the white finishes and light, airy feeling. This is really beautiful.
Yeah, and one nice thing about this great room is that you have these expansive sliding door systems. There's 2 of them, as a matter of fact, and so they create obviously a lot of natural light in this space. But then it's great too if you're entertaining, because both of them stack back and you have large openings. So if you're entertaining, you have a bunch of people coming and going. You know, it's not going to feel like you have 10 people trying to cram through one little door, getting in and out of the backyard.
No, great home, great setup for entertaining for sure.
So over here, this space is actually set up and intended to be a wine closet with a glass door.
Okay. They got one of my favorite features here, a little coffee bar.
Little coffee bar, yeah, that's right.
Important. Got to have that in every home.
Yes, you do. So you have nice study back here behind us, and again you have the wainscoting on the walls, and then you have the custom millwork in the back with the cabinets, crown molding.
I love this. I find so many people end up integrating their office into either their bedrooms or upstairs in the main living area. And to me, I don't know, if I'm working out of the house, man, I feel like I want a little bit of separation from my living space or where I'm going to be sleeping versus where my office is. So I really love how they have this set up on this far end of the home. Really helps kind of give it its own space and make it feel separate from everything else.
Yeah, if you want it to be attached to what's going on, you know, if you have kids and you want to be nearby, this is a great space for that.
Yep.
It could also be, you know, maybe a playroom for the kids off of the great room.
Yeah.
You know, so family and parents are out here hanging out, and the kids could be nearby. So it very functional, could be used in a multitude of ways. Out in the back behind Mike over here, we have the kitchen, and they've done a lot of nice little touches that might be a little bit difficult to pick up in the video here, but we'll do our best to point them out to you. And that is on the undermount of the island here, you have this beautiful stonework. So you have a nice I like how that kick plate.
I like how that ties. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. Like you have kids or anything, and it's all paint grade, they
That's
end up
right.
kicking it and marking
Kicking
it all up,
mark
right?
it, yep.
So this is really smart how this is done, and then I love how they tie that into the ceiling as well.
Yes, so they did a nice center cap there in the ceiling, which complements and just ties it together. And then you have the large oversized double-edged waterfall island, beautiful stainless steel and European appliances. Then you also have the subway tiles that run all the way up to the ceiling and then are capped off by the crown molding. So very tastefully done. It also adds to the fact that this is just a nice, bright, open space.
Yeah.
You have the custom hood, so you have this nice millwork here. And it just warms it up. So it gives it a little bit of flavor and a pop here in the kitchen. And it kind of comes a focal point.
And lots of cabinetry, which I think is a great thing. I hear that with so many buyers walking into a lot of homes where they're always shocked at how little cabinetry some of these kitchens have. And they've done a great job here with having lots of cabinetry here.
Lots of cabinet
Plus you've got
space.
your butler's pantry back here. So tons of space in the kitchen for storage.
So to carry the countertops and into the butler pass, walk-in pantry behind us here. And then as we were talking about, additional cabinetry, so more storage space, and that's really just a theme throughout this home.
I was gonna say, and I think
storage.
I think a space like that, Darren, I find it's so important, especially when somebody has such a beautiful kitchen like they do here, and the way it's tied into the rest of the rooms for entertaining. It's always nice to have this little prep area back here where they can set up the food if they're doing like buffet style. Keep all the food back here, dirty kitchen, right?
Yes.
Keep that all back here and keep your main kitchen nice and clean. And presentable, yeah.
Yes. And then now we're in the formal dining room area of the home. This is another one of those rooms that it could either be used as a formal dining room, such as they're currently utilizing it, or it could be repurposed and used as a sitting room, reading room, whatever your needs are. It's a very functional space. They've done a couple of nice things on each wall. So on the far side there, they have the wainscoting, and again, they have the crown molding, but they've also ran some stone up this wall here, and it just adds a little bit of pop to the room.
Yeah, and I was sharing with you one of my favorite things about this formal dining room. You don't see it a lot in homes anymore. Usually they've kind of incorporated it into the great room or kitchen area, and I love the way they have this set up. Just feels very cozy.
It's very warm and inviting.
Kind of nice to see families get back to having a formal dining room where they're sitting down for dinner, you know?
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's go check out the NextGen Suite.
Let's do it.
So now, as we round the corner here, we're going to enter into the 2-room NextGen Suite. Again, you have additional closet space for more storage. And this is the bedroom portion of the NextGen Suite. You have a private ensuite bath with its own walk-in closet. And then you can see more of the custom millwork that's wrapping the walls here with the crown molding. Yeah,
I like what they do with that because it really kind of warms up the home, makes it feel more homey, right?
So. And it really, so as you go into each room, you just kind of get, it's not just your standard, textured walls, right? You get a feel for some design and just a little bit more opulence to the home.
I like it.
Now this is the living area, if you will, of the NextGen Suite. It has a kitchenette. Again, it has its own private entrance right off the front courtyard. A lot of natural light. And then one thing that you can see too is that each window is framed in with the window casings. So the theme and the millwork that's carried throughout the home is just very tastefully done and continuous.
Yeah, and I found these NextGens have become, to me, they became very popular right after COVID, right?
Yes.
Because it seemed like after COVID, I feel like the buyers' desire for what they're looking for has changed quite a bit. And this always seems to be a very important factor with homes to have one of these NextGens attached. Yeah,
the NextGen Suite really gained popularity, I think, post-COVID.
Yeah.
And it's certainly one of those elements to a home that can be used a multitude of ways, right? Whether you have an in-law situation, which is the way it's currently being used, you have an adult child. It could be even a work-from-home space.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily need to involve someone living in it full-time. It just might be, a workspace, and maybe you don't need to go to the office. So there's just so much opportunity to utilize these spaces in different ways, and it really adds to not only the value of the home, but the general functionality.
I love it. Where are we heading to next?
Let's go check out the second floor.
Awesome, let's go.
As we're coming up the stairs, you can see on the landing that they have this beautiful stacked stone.
Yeah, I love that stone,
accents
man.
the back wall.
Yeah.
And then that leads us up to the second floor landing, and we'll get to these secondary spaces in a minute. First, we're going to come through and show you the primary suite, which is this very large, oversized room, offset with the sitting area. You have a private balcony, so you can overlook your backyard, sit out there, read.
And one thing
relax.
I noticed, Darren, is nice high ceilings in here, which is not super
Yes.
common for two-story homes. Usually you find that it's a little shorter, but these are really nice high ceilings.
Really nice high ceilings, yes, which just helps with the light and feeling like the spaces aren't closed in.
Yeah.
And even just giving that general feel that the spaces are larger. So they actually added some more tile-like, wood-like tile, I should say, here in the sitting area, and a nice natural, almost like a natural oak color. So it just gives it a little bit of warmth.
And with this setup, you have no excuse for not getting your morning exercise in.
That's right.
Because you can literally roll right out of bed,
onto your
hop on your
Peloton.
bike, hop on your Peloton, hop on class.
And you're ready to go.
And you're ready to go, man.
Yeah. Or, and I think you pointed this out when we were talking about this earlier, is that, you know, for those that may not want to watch TV in bed, it's a nice little area where maybe one person's sleeping and the other person's hanging out over here watching TV, trying not to.
Yeah, you could even, if you wanted to create some little bit of privacy here, put some shades or something, or some drapes to just separate it, and so that way it stays dark and they don't have the light in here. The other thing I was going to point out too, man, they really upgraded the carpet in here.
Yeah, so they have beautiful carpeting. There's not a lot of carpeting in the home, but where it is, it's highly upgraded, and it's a very elegant carpeting that also complements the theme of the home.
Yeah, I was gonna say it fits right in with the theme of the home. It's nice.
Yeah, and then so as we travel down this way, this leads us into the master closet area, and they have this really oversized closet that has a double entrance. And as my kids would use it, a circular racetrack as you pass through both doors.
Great size closet.
Which leads you into the primary bath. So you have this deep soaking tub set here in the middle, and then you have a huge walk-in shower in the back there with a bench. And then obviously you have the separate counter spaces, which in most marriages and life
is very important. Yes.
Yes.
And that's, again, very well thought out with the design of the home by them doing that, separating the two spaces, giving each party their space. And again, plenty of cabinetry through here as well, like we had down the hall as well. So
absolutely. So yeah, tons of storage space. You even have a vanity section here, you know, for sitting and applying makeup. Obviously, more natural light that's carried throughout, so you can see that it's very bright and open in here.
That's another thing,
which is great for a primary bath, because
yeah,
oftentimes
you never see that
small
anymore.
little windows or closed.
You got a little framed, a little picture window at the top or something, just to get a little bit of light.
Accent light.
Yeah. All right, man, this is awesome. Where to next?
Let's head across the way. We'll check out the bonus room and the secondary bedrooms.
Okay.
So now we're back here, out here on the landing on the second floor. Again, more storage space, utility closet, more custom millwork even framed in on the openings.
And I love this room because this could be a multitude of things. Obviously, they're using it right now for kind of a gathering space for family members. But obviously, it could be a studio. You can make it a great game room. So many great things you can do.
So many great things. Yeah, billiards. I think to your point, you could frame it in and close it in and be an actual movie room.
Yeah.
You know, they're using it more informally and just kind of a hangout room, play video games, watch TV, that type of stuff. So it's nice, however someone would want to utilize it. It's just nice to have the actual space to be able to have that functionality where you could utilize it in many different ways.
Yeah.
I mean, quite frankly, it could obviously be framed in, closed in, and be an additional bedroom.
Sure. Yep. Nice.
So now as we carry on, we also have this amazing laundry room here. You have a nice deep soaking sink. You have plenty of cabinets on both sides. You have a lot of space for folding, storage, you name it. So it's a great space. It's on the second floor, so you don't have to carry things up and down the stairs all day long. And again, you know, you can close that off, and you could have all your private belongings
Yeah.
off without having to worry about
all the
visitors
fun
going
work of
through and
laundry in
seeing
there.
it. Yes. This balcony here is connected to the front secondary bedroom.
Okay.
Both the bedrooms down at the end of this hall have their own private bathrooms with walk-in closet. And again, they're just nicely appointed spaces that make the house very functional for a family and or just for anyone in general that needs 4 bedrooms.
So just a reminder for those watching, you've got 3 bedrooms up plus the bonus room, correct?
That's correct.
And then you've got the next gen down plus
Yeah.
the office as well.
That's correct.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these are good sized rooms. Again, the nice high ceilings, which makes the rooms feel a lot larger. And they really went all out, even with the crown molding in all the secondary rooms as well. Usually, that's where people seem to skip, right?
Yes.
Because it save a little bit of money, but they went all out here and they put the crown molding in, even in the secondary rooms.
Yeah, and then all the windows are cased in. And you know, so you have in certain rooms you have walls accented with wallpaper just to create a theme. So every room is tastefully done, and done with the idea of creating continuity within the rest of the home, but also creating its own identity.
Yeah.
And so they did a very good job throughout the property with that. This room also has its own walk-in closet and private bath as well, just like the other. And that caps off the secondary bedrooms and most of the interior space of the home. I know there's something that you've been waiting to see.
The backyard, man, it's my favorite spot.
Let's go do it.
All right, let's go.
So the first thing I'm going to point out as we come out is one of the 2 oversized expansive sliding door systems that stack all the way back like this. So as you can see, again, you have that nice large opening. And then we have this area here, which is just a continuation of some tile that's within the home, set for the patio area. So it just adds a nice little pop.
Yeah, it really separates the space too, makes it feel its own.
Yeah.
So, man, I love this backyard. This
and
is
then
incredible.
It transitions right into this beautiful backyard.
Yeah.
You have the cool decking that's kind of running throughout. You have this beautiful pool, which is about 5.5 feet deep. On the far side there, you got the spa and the wet Baja deck. Baja deck's about approximately 7 to 8 inches deep, so just nice area for soaking if you get those cool loungers. You can kind of just sit there and hang out and chill in your pool. And then they did a nice job back here too, obviously adding in the green by adding in the turf.
And you know, the one thing I like about this backyard, Darren, versus some of the other ones that we've seen here where they have just that long linear backyard, I like how this is kind of broken up. So you've got this nice little space over here, creates like different experiences in the backyard. Got your putting green over there, which is nice.
Yeah, you could have so much going on.
Oh,
right? Especially if you were entertaining, having a gathering or something to that effect. You have the area up here, which is, you know, you do the pool and the patio area. You have this sitting area back here where you could be entertaining.
Some sun, come out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, so they did these nice inlay of the concrete work, right? So the stepping stones, offset by the turf.
And you know,
so it's just very nicely done. It warms it up, and it's very functional too.
Yeah. And just to recap on this area where we're at too with Southern Highlands, you'd pointed out earlier, I think one of the great things about this location is its convenience off the 15 when you're coming in from Southern California.
Yes.
I've found, I don't know about you, but a lot of buyers tend to gravitate towards this area when they're coming from Southern California. I didn't think about it until a client pointed out one day where they're like, well, Darren, it saves us 40 minutes.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, wow, yeah, it does.
Oh, absolutely.
Driving from here to Summerlin's another 40 minutes, right?
That's right.
So
yeah, I think especially if you're someone that might be traveling back and forth to California quite often.
Yeah.
This is an excellent location.
Near the airport.
We're literally at the far south end of the valley.
Yeah.
We're 10 to 15 minutes from the airport maximum. Even to get to Bellagio or Center Strip, 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's very convenient. If you're jetting off to California, you're literally 2 minutes from the 15, and then it's a straight shot down into Southern California from there. So it's an excellent location, and these are also great communities. Southern Highlands Master Plan Community is a beautiful community, a lot of amenities and development going on in and around here. So it's making it much more functional to where people that live here don't necessarily have to leave the community to go get their amenities.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
Tuscan Cliffs being guard gated also is just add that extra step of luxurious living, if you will.
And then if you're a golfer and you're trying to practice your putting game,
that's right,
dude. This is the perfect
which I need
home.
a lot of practice. So this would be good for me.
Yeah. Me too.
You can stand over here. You can practice your short game, not just your putting, but your chipping. And they have plenty of holes to practice on. It looks like 5 holes, right? So, depending on what obstacles you want to set forth for yourself. And
I gotta tell you, I'm not even a golfer. I went to do this in my backyard. I never had an understanding. I thought it was just like laying down turf.
Yeah.
There's a substantial cost to adding this to your backyard, which it was like going to triple the cost of my. I put the artificial grass in. It was almost going to triple the cost by adding the putting.
Adding the putting, yeah. Not a cheap addition.
No, so a little cost savings for the buyer coming in.
And or even if you just want it for an entertainment purpose, even if you're not a golfer, it's just a fun little thing to have. But now as we transition back across the rear yard, we have one more space out here, which is actually larger than the side that we were just standing on.
Okay.
And this would be a great space for a pickleball court or just a multi-purpose sports court.
Yeah.
It could be in addition to the home. There's so many different things that you could utilize this space for. But as you can see right now, they just kind of have this oversized, expansive decking.
Yeah.
Offset by the turf. But again, you could utilize this space for a multitude of different things. The one that comes to mind the most right now, obviously, it's one thing that I'm sure you're hearing a lot is, pickleball.
Oh, pickleball, so popular. Yeah.
It'd be a great space for setting up that and practicing.
And for me, and for someone with dogs as well. I mean, you want to keep the majority of your backyard clean, right? So, I mean, even this little space that they've carved out over here, fencing that in would be a great little play area for your dogs.
Yes.
For them to, use the restroom.
Your own private dog park. You don't have to go to the dog park. You have your own.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then the one thing that I know we didn't get a chance to walk through, but the separate garage, which I think is a great feature as well, because so many people use that for different things, whether it's a gym or a studio. Having that separate garage there, I think is really is a nice added feature to this home as well.
It is, and it has a high ceiling. So if you wanted to put a car lift in there, if you're a sports car enthusiast and you have a couple of sports cars, you could do that. It also has one side of it that's enlarged, so it has an expansive area that's probably roughly somewhere in the neighborhood of 7 by 15.
Okay.
So, which could be used for storage or whatever purpose you may need. So it's a great space, and it just adds to the overall value and appeal of the home.
Awesome.
But thank you. I want to. Obviously, I'm happy that you came out and
thanks for the tour, man. This is a great home. I've been waiting to come out and check it out. One of the things is just because of the backyard. You and I have been talking about this for a while. I think it's such a rare feature for most homes in Las Vegas, especially in these communities, to have this size backyard. If you're not building a custom home, right?
Yes.
I think this is such a great feature to the home, and I wanted to make sure we came and toured it today so we could point that out.
Yes, and I thank you for mentioning that too, because most of the homes in this community are situated on much smaller lots. They don't have the diversity that this lot has. There are a few other lots within the community that are similar size. However, their layout is much different. Most of those are linear, and you have maybe running 100 feet or so behind the home, but you don't have the utility aspect that this does with the side yards. Awesome. So it's a great feature to this home. It's obviously a well-appointed home throughout, and I'm happy that we could show it to you. I'm happy that we could bring it to all of you today. Darren, why don't you share with them a little bit about where they can find you? Yep, so you can reach me you can follow me on my Instagram, which is DMG Luxury, or you can call me directly, 702-485-7755. If you have any question about this home and would like to tour it, make sure you reach out to me. That's awesome, and thank you guys. If you'd like to learn more about the homes that we're showing and about our business, you can find us on Instagram and Facebook at TMG Luxury. You can also find us on YouTube at the Melton Group. Be sure to click the link below, like and subscribe. We look forward to hearing from you. If you have any feedback, please share your comments, and we'll see you on the next tour.